Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, everybody. So good to have you here to see your beautiful faces. Who's here live? And everyone who's catching the replay, welcome. Um, yeah, let me know in the chat where are you tuning in from. Would love to hear. Would love to hear. Oh, wow. It's going to be such a good adventure. Who's already feeling the portal activation? Who's feeling this getting spoiled vibes since you've joined? I'm gonna just stop sharing my sound and just let me know if you lose my my voice. So nice to see everyone coming online on camera. Nice to see your faces. Hello, hello. So you guys are getting an interesting vibe of me today, seeing as today is the art of letting it be easy. I'm also day one of my period. So I am deep in the womb cave. And I'm gonna try and be here as much as I can, as much as I can, but it's definitely gonna get a softer vibe. But let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. All right, so we have Nashville, California, Teton Mountains. Nice, 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 nice. Yes, Miami Island. Ooh, all over, all over. I'm so excited. So many people have said yes to this journey, and I know a lot of you will be catching Glastonbury. Woo! We'll be catching the replay as well. And yeah, really inviting you to use the chat to participate, to answer, to interact. I really love FF, favorite frames. So if you hear a takeaway or golden nugget, the invitation is that you pop it in the chat. This really anchors it in for you, but it also brings it back for others. And yeah, let's begin. I'll do a quick little intro of who I am in case you don't know, and you'll get to know me throughout the 7 days, and maybe you've already had a little look on my socials, and maybe you're getting a bit of an idea from the pre-work. So my name is Dasha, and I call myself a vision doula. I help people with the birthing of their mission, vision, and purpose into the world, combining my background in psychology and energetics, mysticism, magic. I'm highly influenced by Taoism, Tantra, and different energy practices and rituals. And I love IFS. I really love parts work. So you will probably hear me talking about different parts of us. I think it's one of the most powerful modalities. But everything I talk about, I think, is one of the most powerful modalities. So I like to combine them all. And I love diving into the taboo. And this 7 days, we're diving into money. Such a big taboo in our society, unfortunately. And as you may have realized, everything that carries shame in our society carries a lot of power. Yeah, under that layer of shame, like hush, hush, don't look there, don't talk about it. That's where the power is. And even the concept of power holds this. So invitation is that you come with an open mind. Everything that I say is an invitation. Try on different beliefs, try it for fit. If you don't like it, leave it. Nothing that I say is the ultimate truth, right? It's my truth. It's the truth that has empowered me to create a life of my dreams. But that's my reality, right? So just see what fits. Yeah. And sometimes something might not fit, and then later it'll fit. Or maybe it'll never fit, and that's okay, right? There's no right or wrong. There's really my biggest thing that I love to teach people is discernment and intuition. Like, how can you really get to a state where you can trust your inner knowing, right? Without giving your power away to anyone else. And that's what I really want you to begin to practice, is really like Oh, okay, wow, that does really resonate what she says. Great, amazing. And then some things you might feel like, just like as I'm saying, just like these vibrations for your entire system. And you're like, oh my God, yes, this is it. This is the truth. Right. So I run a mystery school called Shkoda, which means mischief. And I help healers, change makers, and thought leaders fruition their movement into the world. And our mission is to infuse magic and miracle into the mundane. So we'll be doing a little bit of that throughout the next 7 days as well. So this is not like anything you've ever experienced before. And I keep saying that, and I really want to deliver. So you're going to step into a portal, and you already have, but we'll officially open it in a moment. And my invitation is just you to notice now your body language. Where are you at? What's happening right now? Are you open? Are you open to receive? Do I have permission to speak to you, to share with you? Or are you sitting like, are you closed off? Are you present? Or are you multitasking, doing 10 things at once? Where is the priority of this conversation? And these are just questions, right? There's no right or wrong, but you decide. You decide how you will experience this experience. And I want to invite you to make me a promise. And again, you don't have to do this, but I really want to invite you to promise me that this will work for you, that you will choose that this will work, right? Because our beliefs create our reality. You can come into this and be like, oh, this is bullshit. Oh, I don't believe in anything. I've been there, right? I used to not believe in energy at all. I thought everyone was a charlatan. You can keep running this narrative, nothing ever works for me. This is my last resort. Or you can choose in this moment that it will work for you and allow the rest to just unfold, right? So make this choice if you like. And if you don't do it. But if you do, you will see that your experience and your participation and your results in these 7 days drastically change to maybe how you normally show up. And if you're always like, oh, everything always works for me, amazing. Then this is going to be like 10x even more than you ever imagined, right? So let's do a little drop in and open the portal officially. So I'm going to invite you to close your eyes and soften your gaze for a moment. And take a deep breath into your body and just noticing if there's any tension that wants to be released with the next exhale. And again, a couple more deeper breaths, releasing any tension with the breath, releasing any tension in your body or your mind. Anything that's ready to be released that might be blocking you from being fully present in this moment and the next 7 days. And beginning to feel your sit bones on your seat, feeling the gravity pulling your body down towards the earth. And beginning to either imagine or feel for energetic roots coming out of your sit bones and traveling deep, deep down towards the core of the earth. Allowing these roots to penetrate the earth and travel deeper towards the core and wider. Beginning to feel yourself grounded, earth supported. And then breathing this grounded, earthy energy up the roots, up the spine, towards the crown of your head. Allowing for this grounded energy to feel any auric holes, rips in your auric field. Breathing that energy up and allowing that earthy grounded energy to settle. And to settle your nervous system. Allowing for any movement that wants to occur. And beginning to imagine a golden ring around us, symbolizing a sacred ritual space, feeling this field around all of us through time and space, whether you're here live or catching the replay. Maybe you're watching it a day after or a month after or however long, however you found yourself, feeling yourself connected to the energy field of all the people watching this, receiving this, and entering this portal. Trusting that whatever arises is divinely orchestrated for your highest good, that the universe is working for you, not against you. Everything that you may have experienced was divinely orchestrated for you to become exactly who you're supposed to be. No matter how difficult or hard it may have been, know that you are so loved and supported. The universe, God, your higher self, loves you and wants you to succeed, wants you to have so much fun on the way. And calling yourself in fully present and taking a moment to whisper your intention now to yourself for this next 7 days and beyond. There's no right or wrong, but remembering words are spells. What are you creating? My intention is to show up in the most authentic self and give you a mind-blowing experience that you will never forget. That will be a catalyst for total transformation in all areas of life. Maybe a little catalyst, maybe a big catalyst, but something that is very, very pivotal. And then slowly you can come back to the space. Coming back, you can orient yourself around your room, reminding you that, yeah, I'm still in this place. And then coming back to the screen. So as I mentioned, this is going to be different to anything you've experienced on the internet. And you're going to experience transmissions. You're going to experience transmissions for your mind, for your soul, for your energy body. And the invitation is that you notice what is happening in your body at all time. And I might remind you, or you might just notice, oh, maybe I need to stretch. Maybe I need to move. Maybe I'm just like spiraling or swaying. Really allow yourself to just release, to move, trusting your body's wisdom. Noticing your breath. Are you holding your breath? Are you breathing really short into your chest? Or can you deepen the breath into your belly? Noticing which topics might activate you, activate your nervous system. Noticing if you can soften into the breath. Can you hold yourself? Can you bring touch to yourself, reassuring yourself you are safe? If at a moment something feels unsafe, and it may, even though you're in a safe environment, these conversations might break things up for you. We're going to go on the wild ride. So make sure you have everything you need to support you on that. And noticing when resistance comes up, when judgment comes up, when shame comes up, when you want to run. Because on the other side of that, if you stay all the way, is a breakthrough. And of course, no one's going to hold you. You can always leave. You can always exit. You can always be like, this is total bollocks. Or you can see what is on the other side of that trigger. What is on the other side of this activation? Something pulled me in and I made a commitment to stay the 7 days and make that commitment now. If that is what you're desiring, because then you know that if something comes up, you've made the commitment and that is just a little golden nugget to look deeper into. If you don't make the commitment, then you're like, well, I wasn't sure. I don't know if I'll make it all the way. So I'm just, eh. But if you're like, no, this is it. This is working. This is my pivotal moment, my catalyst in transforming my relationship with money, with wealth, with abundance, healing this relationship. I'm making a commitment no matter what happens. And I laugh with my clients that I have to come with like a trigger warning that, like, when you say yes to working with me, your life may implode because everything that is not meant to be starts to fall away. And as a human, we're so attached. We're like, oh, I'd rather hold on to this shit that's bringing me so much misery because it feels safe and familiar. And this new thing that I've always dreamed about, that feels so dangerous. I'm going to die. So let me reject that. And we feel so sad when things fall away, even if they're toxic and horrible. We hold on so tightly that nothing good can come because there's no space. It's an invitation to reflect on that. Without shame, without judgment, just observing. Awareness is the first step. And I decided to start with the art of letting it be easy because we are in a 7-day adventure of being spoiled. And to be spoiled, there needs to be some sort of letting go, release, allowing to receive. A lot of the time, we cannot just receive. That's too easy. We need to struggle for it. We just have the thing. Who are we to have the thing for nothing? Guilt, shame, worry, doubt, self-sabotage kicks in. Who's been there? I'm seeing lots of hands. So my question to you is, and I'm going to invite you just to drop into your body just for a minute. So closing your eyes or softening your gaze. And I'm going to invite you to do this a lot. So again, choosing your adventure, remembering everything is invitational. My question to you is, how good are you willing to have it? And noticing what comes up in your body to that question. How good are you willing to have it? What if it all could be easy? Life, work, money, sex, power. We're conditioned to believe if it's not hard, it's not valuable. What if you could just pull things into your human existence? How would it feel if it was all easy, natural, innate? Can you believe that you have the power to let it be easy? That you get to decide? Can you believe that you get to decide? Is that available? There are no right or wrong answers to these questions. Just notice what's happening in your body. Can you feel how much the universe loves you? What if magnetizing and summoning money to you was as easy as breathing? Take a breath into that. What if magnetizing and summoning money to you was as easy as breathing? And welcoming all the resistance, all the judgment, all the like, what the fuck is this chick on? But what if? What if? And my question to you is these beliefs that you're carrying that might have come up from these questions, who are they speaking? Who is that speaking? Is that you? Where did you get those beliefs? Where did you get the resistance? Are you living under someone else's spell or are you casting your own? So, my question to you again is how good are you willing to have it? And then you can come back to the screen. And before I keep going, I want to have some shares. So if someone wants to share, they can raise their little mechanical hand, and then I'll be able to see you. And my question is, what came up during this little drop-in? And everything is welcome. Yeah, if it was like, oh my God, finally truth that's landing deeply in my heart, that I'm finally hearing someone speaking something that resonates. Or maybe it's so deep resistance and like, what the hell? No, that's impossible. There's no way I could even believe that. Everything is welcome. I just want to take a little temperature check. Just letting you know, whoever shares, whenever you're sharing, you are being recorded. So your video might be recorded. Right now I'm pinned, so probably won't be, but your audio will be. So just so you know throughout this whole time. So does anyone want to share? You can also use the chat if you're feeling shy. Yes, Tashi. Also, if you're raising your hand, please use your mechanical hand because I actually don't see everyone. But I do see you, Tashi.
I find the mechanical hand, so I don't know how to use it.
I will.
Have a
Okay, I
look.
will just put it before you start sharing. How to use your mechanical hand is you go down to the reactions and you click on the reactions and then it say raise your hand. But
Oh,
that's okay, babe. You're good. You can just share now.
so what was coming up was like, so when what did you say? You said about can you let it be so easy? And what was coming up was, oh, but I'll need loads of clients. Like it's this instant like, oh, I need loads of, and it's like that's and I was like confused and I was like, what is the message there? And it's like, oh, but then I'll have to get loads of clients. You know what I mean? And it's like, yeah.
I love that. Can you let it be easy? No, I have to work a lot.
God.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you for kicking us off. Okay, Victoria, hello.
Hey, I had an interesting picture and it was like, um, can I allow myself to to be to be easy? And I'm like, yeah, sure I can, but I don't know how. And it felt like I have a um I have a box full of gold and I have a key, but I don't know where the key is, I just I hide it from myself or like I lost the key and then I'm sitting in front of this box full of gold, cannot open. I know that the key is somewhere, but I don't know where. Fuck. It's not helpful actually.
No, but it's great. You know that it's there. All we have to
It's
do is
there, but
unlock
I,
intuition and we'll find the key. No worries.
yeah, but it really feels like very frustrating that I know that there was a key, but I don't know where, and maybe I won't find it ever. This is what I feel somehow, this anxiety that the key is lost forever. Yeah, it's gone, and I have no access to the treasure, which
Mm,
is mine. Hmm.
I feel you. And I also feel another layer, like someone actually hid it from you. That's why you don't
Hmm.
know what it is.
That was me. I'm just messy. I'm losing stuff. I forget what I put them.
Amazing. Okay, we'll sit with that. Let's see what
Yeah,
happens. Let's see what
thank
happens.
you.
Thank you for being here. Okay, Christina.
Hello. Yeah, what came up for me was it was a lot of things. The first thing was frustration. It was like, okay, how? How? Let it be easy. Yeah, how? And at the same time, there's this moment when you said, what if you could just magnetize your clients, something along the lines like that. And I just had this massive smirk on my face, like, caught you. Like there's this naughty part of me that's echoing what Victoria said. I was like, there's hiding a key. There's like a hiding of, it's like a protection mechanism of like, yep, it can't be easy. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how to express that, but
Yeah. No, you're
yeah,
good.
but it also brings up frustration.
Yeah, thank you. With frustration is so welcome. And yeah, this is why we're talking about it today, because it's like we have this thing where it's not letting us be easy. It's like maybe we understand it, like we know, but then it's like we hide the key. So thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing. And the other thing that's I'm now hearing a common thread of how. So let's sit with that as well. Max, hello.
Hi, thank you for, yeah, just creating such a cool space already. I'm so happy to be here.
Yay.
What came up for me was just like, oh yeah, like why was I even? And then I was like, why do I do this sometimes in all areas of my life, whether it's like love or health? It's like my mind can just come in and just make it a nice mountain for me to climb to get where I want to go. And then I'm like, oh yeah, like all the coolest results I've ever had, I didn't climb a mountain for actually. I was like, oh, here they are. So I was just like, oh yeah, thank you. Actually, so it kind of felt like that, like just that, like I was watching the wrong movie like for a second because I was driving. So I was like, oh wait, the wrong movie was playing. I don't even like that movie. Let me go back to the movie that I know to be true. So that was cool.
I love that. Yes. Yes. Just switch the channel. I love that. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Oh, amazing. Amazing. So for the duration of this portal, I am going to invite you to erase the word how. Every time you hear that, just be like, a whole. Change it to a whole. Have you heard that? It's like when someone shares and everyone disagrees, a whole. It's a completion. Yeah, it's like you have a crazy dream, you have a desire, just a whole. Not how, a whole. Like, yes, so it shall be. So it shall be. This is, I'm going to be putting sprinkling some magic secrets throughout this portal. All right. And one of the lessons of mystery is letting go of the how, because who you are now is not going to be creating that. So you might as well just let it go. You're not going to know till you get there, most likely, right? The more will unfold. Okay, I will share one more thing that's in the chat and then we're going to keep going. I will use chat for today. I am not on my own right now. It was so interesting to feel the resistance of I can't let things be that good. What will people think? Yeah, what would people think if you're just getting spoiled rotten by money all the freaking time? What would they think? Like you said, it has to be hard. I notice a deep belief about money and my ability to generate great wealth during the week that totally surprised me so much. It was, I am only available for scraps. And this is definitely not mine. Yeah. So let's take a breath in to this. Where have you been available only for scraps? I know I've been there many times. So just noticing and just taking a breath into that. And whatever came up for you, just taking a breath into that. Maybe it was expansive, maybe it was a contraction. It's all welcome here. This is why we're diving. This is one of the most common beliefs around money is that You have to sacrifice to earn. You have to work hard to earn. It has to be hard. You have to struggle, right? And one of the things is because in our society, productivity equals value. If you're not productive, you're not creating value, right? So we have a lot of things that are becoming enmeshed. That is not true. When I started marketing this portal, and I specifically chose the word spoiled, and I didn't actually realize there was no positive dictionary definition of this word. I thought my problem was going to be saying get spoiled rotten, that I created as an acronym for royally, obscenely treated to endless nurturing. I was like, this is going to be triggering. Then I realized the whole thing's triggering. Because in our vocabulary, it is only a negative thing. Yeah, so like if you're getting spoiled, then you are becoming off. You are just getting destroyed. You're no longer thinking clearly. You cannot control yourself. So of course, this is in the collective. This is in your subconscious. And even if you feel good about being spoiled, you will still be feeling the collective. This is so important. This is why it's so important for us to do this work together. Because you can do this work on your own, but then you will constantly be getting pulled into the collective. So the thing is, this is the catch. This is the catch. This is the freaking catch. So I've been doing so much study around money because money is shackles. These limiting beliefs around money is the shackles that have been put on us by our family, by society. And if you look at the world, it's so backwards, right? It's like sex is evil, whereas actually if you're connected to your life force energy, it is your life force energy. Yeah, money is evil when it's the blood of the system. Power's bad, project power, so then you're disempowered. It's just like periods are disgusting and stinky when they're like the holy power for the woman. It's how we create life. You wouldn't be here without it. It's all these things. It's just like, what? But the thing is, when you're struggling to do something, you're leaking energy. So if you're efforting to do anything, you're leaking a lot of energy, opposed to being in flow, opposed to it being effortless, seamless, easy. So we put ourselves in these conundrums. It's like on top of like struggling and forcing and it being uncomfortable, as we're forcing, we're leaking so much energy. And this is something people don't talk about because people don't talk about energy. And then the catch, and I talked about this in the pre-work, but it's so important, I have to highlight it here, is, people say, oh yeah, but energy doesn't work. When I lean back and I relax, nothing happens. But are you leaning back and relaxing and feeling guilt, shame, doubt, and worry? Because then you are leaking the energy. So of course it's not going to work. You have to be in full alignment. Like you actually have to feel fully worthy and deserving to take the rest and fully be resting. And it's a journey, right? I'm painting a picture and I'm painting a journey, but I'm giving you little nuggets. And some of it might be like, triggering, what the fuck? No, that's not true. I know I used to not believe that. I used to not believe our beliefs created our reality. I was like, yeah, the good stuff. But the bad stuff, that's not me. That's just the world. It fucking sucks. And it takes a lot to actually get to a point where you're like, oh, fuck, no, actually, I'm a creator. I'm constantly creating. I'm actually a manifesting queen. Yeah, I've manifested all this bullshit into my life. Now it's time to manifest the good stuff. You're constantly manifesting everything. But in this like woo-woo magic industry, right? It's like manifestation, the good things. No, you're constantly manifesting. Wherever focus goes, energy flows. So what are you deciding to manifest today? People are like, oh, I'm so bad at manifesting. I just like really bad things happen to me. It's like, well, you're really good actually. You're manifesting that. When you're able to take radical responsibility, you get to reclaim your power. And you get to actually change history. But I'm not going to dive into that. That is like, I'm going off track. But there is power. There's so much. There's so much in that. So today we're going to talk a little bit more about how can you let it be easy? Yeah, and how can you allow yourself to be spoiled just a little bit? So the thing is, if you're having so much resistance to these new concepts, what you want to do is just stretch a little bit into it. Yeah, not like, and I love to use like yoga compared to like CrossFit. We want to stretch a little because your nervous system can handle it. Yeah. So it's like, okay, so I can't fully just surrender and trust that everything's going to work out, right? And also, I just want to put a little caveat, right? My work is in Taoism. That one of the main things about Taoism that I so respect and that they're just geniuses in is the concept of balance, the yin and the yang. Yeah. So you need the balance, like lean back and divine inspired action, right? Not just lean back and do nothing, right? That's the secret sauce. This is the 20% effort, 80% reward, rather than what we're all doing is 80% effort, struggle, go more, and then reap 20%. Yeah. So we need to start doing a little bit. Yeah. So what can you do today? One little thing to let it be easy. What can you do? Just one little thing, right? For example, maybe what you do is you write an article, right? But then you like to check it like 10 billion times and then rewrite it 10 billion times because you want it really good. So maybe to make it easier, you rewrite it -1 billion times. Or don't rewrite it. Just let it be. Maybe you like to go all around town to get the thing. What if you could just go to the place that's closest? This is where the money comes in. This is one of the things I used to do. I'd go like half an hour to get the cheapest thing. And now I'm like, oh, what if I just went to the most convenient place and not looked at the price? And then took that half an hour to enjoy my day on the couch. Right. So just noticing, what can you do to make it easier? Just a little thing. Maybe it's leaning into trust. Like, instead of like, oh, I need to message like 10 billion people to follow up with them, I'm just going to lean back and trust. One thing I used to love to do is worry. And I have a question for you. How many times have you worried about something that worked out? I used to worry about everything and it always worked out. Whenever we worry, we leak a lot of energy. So then this one day, I was like, wow, what if I just don't worry about the thing and just trust it worked out? And then if it doesn't work out, then I can worry about it once. That's letting things be easier. Okay. So I'd love to hear your biggest takeaways so far in the chat. Oh, whoa. She's ready. Okay. Okay. Oh, you're sharing what you realized. I love this. Okay, great. Okay, I was just in the farm shop getting some high quality meat before it closes quick. It closes, but it's really expensive. Watching my thoughts while on this call. Wow, that's way too expensive for a small steak. I can't buy it. Other mind. This is high quality food, so I'm grateful. Back again. Eek, that's what only be things. Inner polarity. I love it. Yeah. And again, like, let's notice that, right? So I love that example, and I'm just going to use you as an example, Max, and we've all been there, I am sure. So it's like, how can you let that be easier? Don't have that other thought, or catch the other thought and be like, that's an energy leak. I'm going to buy it anyway. So what the hell? Why am I standing here? Like, I'm going to buy this thing anyway, right? Or I'm not. And a lot of the time we're like, I'm not going to buy it. But then you walk away and you keep thinking about it. And you're like, oh, I wish I bought it. Or you go and buy something else that's not as good, and then you wasted the money there, and then you feel the worry and the sadness and the disappointment, and you cycle through that, and then you leak all this energy. And today and this week, we're playing with being spoiled, right? So your homework will be, how can you spoil yourself? So when you do go to the thing, you're like, okay, let me get this steak. And in the pre-work, I already talked about this. Yeah, again, but I'm going to remind you. So we're going to play with getting spoiled. So maybe, and again, I'm just going to use Max, you as an example. Maybe you're like, okay, I want to get really good quality meat. I'm going to spoil myself. So maybe you just go to a butcher, yeah, and you ask for a good quality piece of meat. You don't have to go to the fanciest of the fanciest this week, because that's going to like have your nervous system shot. Because if you go from not even buying yourself a steak to buying the fanciest of the fanciest, you're going to be like, ooh, you might even feel guilt and disappointment after and not even enjoy it, right? So the idea is not that you go from zero to hero, because that is really intense on the nervous system, and then it backfires sometimes. It's like, okay, so I want to do that thing. I normally don't do that thing. So what's the one little thing I can do that's more than? So I never buy a steak, I go buy a steak. Or I go to a normal supermarket, but I don't look at the price. Okay, now I go to the fancy butcher. Yeah, it's the same with, like, you want to take yourself shopping. Okay, maybe you don't go to Louis Vuitton. You go to a shop that feels good, but you, again, maybe not let yourself look at the prices and just choose the thing that feels the best and not have to justify it. And on the other side, if you're like, don't know how to hold money, you just, it's gone. Okay, how can I spoil myself? By actually putting aside like 100 or 200 and just having it sit in the account and just breathe with it. Be like, I'm safe to hold. I'm safe. Or like allow the paycheck to come in and just like wait before going and spending it everywhere. Be like, I'm safe to hold this amount. Little things. Maybe you're like, I can't go shopping. I don't have any like money, right? So again, noticing your beliefs, words are spells. Get some sort of cash amount, put it in your pocket. Yeah, you have 100, 200, and then walk around and just be like, I can buy that, I can buy that, I can buy that. You don't have to spend it. It's okay. Baby step. We're rewiring the nervous system. I love that about choosing the most convenient rather than cheapest. Yes. A few months ago, I realized that whenever money came in, I panic. Yeah. So again, noticing that. Okay. So I gave you your homework. So now I want to bring up some inspiration so you guys feel some motivation to do your homework. I'll repeat the homework now one more time, then I'll invite our special guest, Gina, so you can prepare. And then we'll see how much time we have left at the end. So your homework today, because every day there'll be homework. So today, 2 parts. How can you let it be easy? And oh my God, guys, I'm going to give you a little hack. You can ask someone else to do it. So for example, you have to wash the dishes. Why not ask someone else to do it? You have to do this thing. Why not ask someone else to do it? A lot of the time, we don't let things be easy because we have to do everything. Always. We can't trust anyone because it's either we do it or it's not done. Can you let go? Can you just allow the dishwasher to be stacked the way it's stacked and unpacked and just let it be? And notice, right? That could be a whole process because you might be spiraling and leaking energy and it's not that easy. And noticing, okay, I'm safe. They're going to do the dishwasher. It's going to be great. I can have a bath. Just a random example, right? You can fill in your bits. So that's part one, let it be easy. And part two, how can you spoil yourself? Yeah. So this can look like finances, right? This can be money. But if that feels like, oh my God, I don't want to buy anything. Okay, well, how can you spoil yourself? Can you give yourself an extra few minutes on the couch? Can you take yourself out into nature? But if it's an edge to use money and you have the money, right? Because a lot of time we trick ourselves, we don't have the money. We do have the money. We're just like in this like deep, like millionaires have this. So it doesn't matter how much you have in your account. I've been there. I have no money. I always have money. But for me, it's the worthiness and the deservingness that stops me from spoiling myself. It's like I used to have the cheapest thing. Not the best, the cheapest. And I would spend hours trying to find the cheapest thing instead of just working on my business or working on my whatever's bringing me the money. Wherever focus goes, energy flows, right? You want to run towards, not away. If you're running away from scarcity, you're looking at it, it's becoming bigger. It's following you. If you're running towards abundance, you're looking at it. That's where it all happens. We're going to be talking about the energetics and the money magic on the last call about exactly that. But it's a slow journey, right? Okay, Gina. So you got your homework. How can you make it a little bit easier? How can you spoil yourself? Because if you can't make life easier, you might find it hard to spoil yourself. Okay, do I have Gina? Yes, Gina's here. I see you, Gina. Okay, I'm going to pin you. So we have a special guest. This is one of my clients, Gina. And I just had to bring her on because she's had some freaking crazy money magic miracles. And she actually came to me for money coaching. And then we've continued to work together around business and all the magic is happening. But the thing I love about Gina that I've just been blown away with is her ability to do the homework. So this is why I'm getting her on today because like this shit works if you do the work, right? And I'm going to get her to share some of her success stories just to show you what's possible. But this is why I want to bring her on because, I can give you prizes. This is a thing that people do is like, you get a prize if you do the homework, but I don't want to bribe you because I want you to lead yourself. I want to get you inspired, not by a bribe, by a result that you could have for yourself. So I invite you to listen to this from a lens of like, holy shit, not like compare and despair where you're like, oh, she can, but I can't. No, like if she can, so can you. What can you see in her that can be you, right? Because our beliefs create our reality. So if you're like, oh, she can, I can't. Yeah, you are right. You're definitely going to create that. But if you're like, oh, well, maybe I can. What if I just do this homework? What if I choose that this shit works for me? What if I decide today, Anyway, Gina, hello.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for having me, Dasha. I hope that the words I share can inspire you to really show up in devotion to this calling to bring more money into your life. For me, it's kind of turned into like a really sacred relationship. But let me backtrack. So I guess for many years I was kind of like struggling financially, like I was always like just getting by, like scraping any money I had would go to like personal development. And I just went through a pretty bad breakup and I'd put all my money into that and I'd lost it. And I was like, yeah, something needs to change. And I was in Bali, a holiday that I had booked on my credit card and by borrowing money from my sister. So I didn't have money. But I had an experience with Lakshmi and I was like, okay, I want to change this. I'm ready to bring more money into my life. And I had this like intuition, like, oh, I should work with Dasha. And like literally 2 days later, she posted she had this like money coaching offer. And I was like, okay, it's divine. And so we started working together, doing the work. It was often quite deep work, often around family dynamics and old beliefs that I'd had around money, and worthiness was a big one. And I'd done lots of personal development work, wanting to, manifest relationships and money and all this stuff, and it hadn't really worked. I didn't really believe it. But when I started working with Dasha, and yes, like I've always done the work, but I think it also helps when you've got someone like Dasha to give you the work that works as well. Yeah, like, because I've read all the books, I've done all these things. And yeah, anyway, it started to work. I was like, oh my God, like I started to believe. So I was working as a Pilates instructor at the time, and I started getting all these little, like, it came in slowly at first, these little bonuses. So my manager wanted to pay me an extra few dollars an hour, and then he'd mispaid me. So he paid me back, and I was like, oh, okay. And then he decided to give me bonuses. And I was like, okay, we'll see how it goes. So I tried to get new clients into the studio, and I got a $5,000 bonus. And I was like, I've never heard of a Pilates teacher earning like a $5,000 bonus. I was like, whoa, this is crazy.
I want to pause there because this is so crazy, guys. I'm sorry, this is crazy. So I want to pause here for a second because I remember when this was happening. And I love that you said, like, I give the work that works. And really, guys, I curate, like, I think of everything. I come from an Iyengar background. If you ever done Iyengar yoga, everything is intentional. Everything, like, it's a sequence that leads into a sequence, into a sequence, into a sequence. So the work I give you is not just for fun. It's literally to get you to the next level, right? So thank you for saying that. The next thing is, I remember this when Gina was like, yeah, I'm going to get a bonus. I was like, cool. Like, I thought it would be like $200, right? It was $5,000, a bonus in a Pilates, like as a manager, right? So I love this story so much because this is a job that you can't really expect anything. People are like, oh yeah, but I work for someone else. Like, and the chances of me getting magic money, you just don't ever know. You really don't ever know anything. So this is why I'm talking about beliefs creating a reality and being open. And I saw Gina's transformation of going from like scarcity and fear to like, okay, maybe this is possible, being open and more open. And then the universe would be like winking at her, like, here you go, here you go, here you go. And there's like grand. But the thing is, you're not always able to hold that amount, right? This is why it doesn't come to you. So doing that inner work to really expand your nervous system, and then magic money like that comes. So please continue.
Yeah, and so I think the next thing that happened was my grandmother had passed away earlier that year, and she was poor. She didn't really have much money. But then I found out she'd actually given each of the children $10,000. I was like, whoa, that just blew me away. Like I had no idea, like, and you could say, oh, that was happening anyway, but I think. I don't know, the fact that it came through and it didn't get whittled down. She had an ex-partner that could have taken it and all this stuff. It didn't happen. We got the money. So that was incredible. And then the next thing that happened was pretty cool, actually. And I think this is actually not just the money miracles, but showing like how when you transform, you show up differently around money. So with that ex-partner I had mentioned, I had at a certain point earned some money for him. He had a lot of money, he put it in my account, and I earned, interest. It was like $2,000 interest. And when I did my tax return, it was going to make an impact. Oh, no, it was like $8,000, sorry. And it was going to cost me $2,000 on my tax return. And the old me would have just left it. Like, nah, I don't want to ask him. Like, oh, it's fine. Like, maybe, I just cut my losses, blah, blah, blah. But because I'd done the worthiness piece, because I had released some of my shame around money, I asked him for the money. I said, hey, like, would you mind reimbursing me because I'm $2,000 out of pocket? And he gave me the money. And so little things like that, little time things because if you have this shame around money or like you don't feel like you don't deserve it, you don't ask for it. Like you don't check your pay slips and then you get underpaid and all these sort of things. And like it adds up. And I remember that was like such a win. Like Dash, like, did you just give you the money? I'm like, yes.
Yeah, this is so good. I love this, what you're sharing, because you're giving such a wide range. And it is the thing about asking for money. Right. And I'm really excited for you to also share about the breakthroughs that happen in your business because of that. Because I know a lot of people here on the call struggle with that, right? They're doing their thing and then the crickets, they give the offer and crickets. It's like they're like, I'm doing all the things. I'm doing all the things. And this is the thing, it's energy and doing that inner work, right? And this is such a good example because it's like asking someone for 2 grand that who's an ex that you don't want to talk to about money. It's like edgy as fuck, and you had the courage and the bravery to do it because you no longer held that shame, that weirdness around it.
Exactly. And I think like that shame and that weirdness, I guess that's where it feeds into like results with clients. Like I think definitely I had a lot of that fear when it came to sales calls and bringing in clients. There was two fears. First one, I'm not a good enough coach. Second one, I'm not really worthy of the money. And so when I knocked down that money one, I didn't have that resistance coming in and I started getting clients out of nowhere. Like I wasn't really coaching when I first was working with you. I kind of was in an interesting place, but I started kind of posting again the beginning of this year and I had an old client come back and she wanted to pay me money. I increased my prices. And then once I'd coached a bit and we did some more work, I've done more work with Dasha and I was like, oh, I am a good coach. And now it's like, it's so beautiful to be able to ask for money for my coaching and not feel like icky about it, you know? Because there's so many other things that you need to overcome with, I'm currently doing Dash's conscious sales course, which is also amazing. But like not having that block around money is just like, it's a huge, it makes it so much easier, the whole process. Yeah.
Amazing. Yeah. Yeah. And I think this is the thing when I know so many people come to me and I see in different masterminds and different things I'm part of where they're like, I'm doing everything. It's just not working. And they're not doing everything. Like they're not doing the most important thing is working on the money stuff. And today I wrote a post about this because it's not socially acceptable, right? But there's actual psychology specialists around money trauma. This is why we're going to dive into it on day 4, I believe. It's an actual thing. Like people actually study. Chronic stress leads to chronic diseases. Everyone knows that. Money leads to chronic stress in so many ways, especially as a business owner, right? It's like an entrepreneur where it's not regular, where you don't know where it's coming from, where it might come one day, it might not. So understanding the energetics of that is so important. And also coming back to worthiness, allowing it in, allowing it to hold it, right? And the other thing is not feeling guilty, and shame for using money. Yeah. Anything else you want to add about your money magic miracles?
I think the final thing I want to add is just really changing my relationship with money. And, I'd read lots of different books and stuff like that, but I really got to connect to money as love, as something that is here to support us. And I received even more magic money has happened since then, and I'm currently in Europe living my best life. And I think if it wasn't for the work that I did and the coaching with Dasha, I wouldn't allow myself to enjoy it. And I don't know if I would allow myself to invest in the things that are getting me further. You know what I mean? Like there's a cool mastermind in Denver that I'm thinking about going to. And it's like the old me would be like, oh no. But now I'm like more willing to invest in myself, more willing, like it's a little less scary to let the money go because I trust that that's what it's there for. Does that make sense? Like money is there to support you. It's there to love you. It's there to like make your life better. And I have experienced how it makes your life better. You have these fears that it's going to like ruin you and money makes people evil. No, it doesn't. I've seen people come into money all around me in different things and it makes them better, it makes them healthier, it makes them more generous. So it's not always the fact that it makes people more greedy. I think people were greedy to start off with when that happens. Anyway, so that's, yeah, I feel like it's everything for now. So thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank you, Gina. Yeah, you really nailed it. It's like money amplifies who you already are, right? So if you're evil, you're going to be more evil. If you're actually a beautiful, kind human, you will have more money to give to others. And I share a lot in conscious community that are like so anti-money and reject it. And I used to be one of those people. I actually shared today that when intuitively it came to me to work with money, I was like, I don't want to do that. That's so shallow. I don't want to be one of those people that makes money from people making money. Like, ugh. But then as I dove into that, I realized it wasn't about money. It was actually about like the other things like self-love, self-worth, like really deeply actually self-love and self-worth. And then it's freedom and allowing yourself to choose, allowing yourself to have the thing, not worrying about it, not letting it ruin your relationships, not letting it ruin your mission. Actually, it funds your mission. It allows you to show up fully. It allows you to invest in education, invest in, if you want to build retreat centers, in communities. Like, and I say to these people, like, okay, fine, you don't want the money, come transform your relationship with money, make millions and give it all away, and then we can talk about it. Like, make it and then give it all away. You rejecting it doesn't help anyone, but if you have the money and you give it into the right hands, then do that. Because if you reject the money, what happens is it's just evil people get more of it. Good people don't get it. You need to give it to the good people if you want the good people to have it, not by rejecting it, by having it and giving it. So Gina, thank you so much for sharing that and like being so vulnerable and sharing about your story, because I know it can be uncomfortable sharing about where we've been and where we are now, but I think it's so important. It's like to really paint the picture of like when you are in scarcity, when you do feel unworthy and undeserving and like scared and not invest, or invest and then not enjoy it. That I love that you brought this part where you're like, you're living your best life, but you actually enjoy it. So many times people try and live their best life. They spend the money, they do the thing, but they're still so empty because they're scared. They're scared that something, or maybe they'll get disappointed, or they'll regret the investment, or they don't even allow themselves to have the opportunities. Like what you were talking about, the mastermind. I had that recently, a really expensive, very extravagant party where I knew I would meet the most incredible people, but I nearly didn't allow myself to do that. Right. And there's so many opportunities where we just self-select ourselves out of experiences, out of opportunities, out of possibilities because of our relationship with money. So thank you so much. So inspiring, so beautiful. And yeah, I hope this, yes, I'm going to unpin you. So guys, I hope this was inspiring to you to see what's possible when you actually dedicate yourself to doing this work. Like you can literally have crazy money miracles happen. So Gina's story, she went for working for someone else, getting these crazy bonuses in an industry that you don't really get, but I like never even heard, like that. To now having her own business, to having clients, feeling good about the money exchange, like saying like, I feel good about charging money. How many people feel like, ugh, when that sentence is said, it's like, oh, I should feel bad. I should be modest. I should be humble. It's like, it's energy. When you understand that it's energy, and when you like take off these shackles and you stop being blocked by it, stop obsessing about the random shit that doesn't matter, and actually fuel your mission, your purpose, your magic, contribute to society in the best way, rather than obsessing like, oh, what are they going to say what if they think if I say this and that about money and this price? Right? Like when you can get rid of those things, you can really be showing up fully in what truly matters to you. So very inspiring. So I hope you do the homework. I hope this inspires you a little bit to do the homework, just at least a little bit, right? And my invitation is that you do the homework as soon as you jump off. So at least you do just a little bit. So see if you can plan to spoil yourself between now and our next call. And see if you can let things get a little bit easier between now and our next call. Yeah. And then share in the Facebook group. Would love to hear from you. The more we share, the more like people get inspired, because you might share a little thing that someone else didn't think could be a thing they could do. And they're like, oh, that feels easy. For some reason, I felt like I had to go and book myself for this lavish dinner. It's like, no, you can just go and do something like little for yourself, but just do it, and really maybe tap into your inner child and see how can you spoil your little self. Like, what can you do to your little self? What does your little self always want that you're like, no, I can't. Yeah. And the other thing is, if this conversation was impactful for you, please invite your loved ones. Invite people that matter to you. Liberate them too. Take them on this journey with you. You can share the link with them, www.dashabasakova.com/spoiled. Would love to have them here. Would love to spread this magic. And we have so much more coming. So I'm really, really excited to be sharing it all with you. And if you feel stuck about the little spoiling thing, then maybe sit with like, what does it mean to be spoiled? Yeah, what does it mean? And see what's coming up in your subconscious. Maybe start rewiring. Yeah. And if you have questions, we'll have opportunity in upcoming calls. So thank you all for being here. It's such a joy, such an honor, such a pleasure. We'll see you same time, same place. And tomorrow's going to be really special. We're doing something really fucking crazy. I've never seen this done ever. I just had this crazy idea and I think it's going to blow your freaking mind. So I will see you all tomorrow. Thank you. Bye-bye.